And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all to Team Gravity's Fight Nine, number 9 main event between Empire Kaz and SpaceMarine. My name is Rob DeLuca, or Shadow, from Tampa Esports, and I am joined today by Fear Dragon. Howdy.
Hello. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. We've already been through 2 pretty damn good preliminary matches. I must say, all these videos will be archived, so you guys should check them out afterwards if you're curious. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the TVP of Team Gravity's Rainer facing off against, oh man, this name, Wingyan. I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure if we were pronouncing it right. Yeah, from Chile. And that was actually a really cool back and forth series with actually, I believe it was Rainer being down 0-2, a Korean player, sort of just, if you're a racist like me, the favorite because he's Korean. But he ended up coming back at 3-2 with some really, really sick and adaptive play. And then we also had the second series, which was a ZVZ between Blast and, oh my god, what was the name of the second player? Clockwork, right. We were making so many clock jokes. And that was actually a pretty good series as well. We had Clockwork going up 2-1, and Blast looked like he was going to be able to maybe do the same thing that Rainer did and pull it back, as he did end up winning game number 3, bring the series 2-1, and Clockwork was able to finally close it out though in game number 4, 3-1 with a really nice push. And yeah, that kind of leaves us with our final match and our main event for the day of Koss versus SpaceMarine.
Indeed.
So, Terran versus Protoss, Koss being the Terran player from Team Empire, and SpaceMarine from Team Gravity being the Protoss player. We're going to be starting up on Frost once again, as we have with all the other games that we've done in this entire series, but should be pretty interesting if we actually kind of take a look at these two players. SpaceMarine, actually, from Denmark, plays Protoss. And you can see the little notes down there, says that he's pretty good at micro, pretty good at multitasking, and mind games.
Well, he does play Protoss. I mean, that's par for the course.
Very much so. Protoss players are very intellectual players. Much smarter than all the other races.
Yeah, of course. Says the Protoss player.
Says the Protoss player. And, Koss, not too bad himself. Pretty damn good European Terran player.
From her Warcraft 3 player.
Yeah, he is. And, a good macro player. Fairly conservative player as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in to the actual game itself on the map, Frost. Introduce the players as we spawn down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Top of the teal, Protoss player representing Team Gravity. It is Gravity SpaceMarine.
And spawning in the bottom left, representing Team Empire, playing Terran, it is Kaz. Or Kaz.
And I have got to say, man, SpaceMarine, he is a flat-out liar. He's a jerk. Well, he's not actually a jerk, but he's a flat-out. He's actually a very nice guy, but he's a total liar. Named himself SpaceMarine, plays Protoss. Protoss players don't have Marines.
Yeah. Man, that spaghetti, I can smell it. So distracting. You'll have to excuse me.
You are eating spaghetti every single time I cast.
Dude, man, spaghetti is like my casting fuel.
Oh, I could use some spaghetti right now, man. Spaghetti's pretty good.
Yeah, and that milk is wearing off. So I'm gonna get some coffee.
Yeah, I mean, Team Gravity Fight Night, usually, as the name would imply, happening at night for North Americans like ourselves. But today, actually happening in the morning. I guess it's sort of later, it's like evening-ish for the Europeans that are playing right now, SpaceMarine and Koss. So kind of works out. It's kind of nighttime.
So we're gonna see a standard Reaper opening from Kaz. Kaz, how do you pronounce it? Is it Kaz or Kaz?
I think it's Koss.
Kaz, okay. And typical
worth noting, yeah.
Gateway opening here from SpaceMarine.
Yeah, slight little differentiations and 10. Oh wait, hold that thought. Second barracks actually going up for Koss.
Ooh, a cheeky
This is
barracks.
interesting. Yeah, he's kind of hiding it back over behind his mineral line. Maybe he'll be able to deny any kind of probe scouts by the time uh, anything would come out. But actually, nothing even really moving out for Space Marine. Only just now, kind of moving to the natural expansion and looking around for potential proxies. And then meanwhile, Space Marine has actually only grabbed one gas geyser. Some Protoss players like to go for the double gas geyser kind of opening, get up your mothership core and everything, and you can still expand in a pretty reasonable amount of time. I think that with the one gas geyser opening, you get to throw down your expansion. It's like a very small difference, but you still get to throw down just like a couple of seconds earlier.
Indeed. And so Cass didn't get the scout that he wanted, so now he's going to come back. Trying to figure out what's going on. But he did find it with the Reaper, so.
And that Reaper should be staying alive for a while. We don't actually see a Stalker coming out right now. We have a Mothership Core out that's going to deny the Reaper from being able to pick off a ton of probes or anything. But yeah, until that Stalker is out, it's kind of difficult to really deal with that Reaper, stop it from being annoying and harassing around, especially with two Reapers actually out on the map.
Yeah, interesting.
What? This is, huh?
Yeah,
the positioning of this
Reaper.
Wow. Okay, well, I mean, now we kind of know what these the double racks opening is for. And I've got to tell you, Rob, I've seen Terran players go for this sort of like a mass Reaper opening style against Pros players many times, and I still have not seen it work once.
Stalkers are good, and so are Mothership Cores.
Yeah, man, it's a little bit concerning to me. But you know what? Maybe Cost is going to be the player that kind of changes it, turns it around, and shows me how exactly the style is supposed to be played out. Again, we only really have one gateway and immediate check up in the robotics facility.
He's straight up massing Reapers.
Yeah, and honestly, if Space Marine is completely unaware of this, oh, he's moving around with the Stalker. Oh, just barely out of vision range. And the Reaper's going to move into the main base. He's going to be so unprepared for this.
I think it's going to trigger an instant photon overcharge.
It should.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, now that Mothership Core has no more energy left over, guess what? 5 Reapers? That's enough to kill a Stalker. That's all that's out right now. There's no other use. Robustly was using an observer.
It's enough to one-shot probes, which I think is even more important. You only need 4 to do that.
Oh, man. This could be very annoying.
Yeah,
well,
sorry.
Oh, one Reaper does get actually taken out. Sentry's out as well. Sentry not very useful against Reapers. Force Steel doesn't really do a whole lot usually. But you know, Warping Technology's finished up. 3 gateways now finished up. And with a warp-in round of 2 or 3 Stalkers, you should be able to push back these Reapers for the most part. Wait. Alright.
These guys in chat are cracking me up.
Oh, I was laughing at the hidden expansion that's really just a pylon with a Twilight Council being thrown down the top left-hand side of the map from Space Marine.
Yeah, so are we going to see DTs here?
You know, I'm not sure. We have a 3rd gas geyser already up. I could maybe see DTs. I think Blink, yeah.
Okay. A Blink
yeah,
stock.
Blink is, yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I think just because he's been making so many of these Stalkers in response to the Reapers,
Indeed.
it sort of makes sense to go for. Yeah, this could actually be a little bit troublesome. Oh my god, a Warp Prism also coming up. This could be so annoying for Cost to deal with. Oh my god, there's actually a lot of space on this map for us to actually blink into the main base and be annoying, as well as harass the natural expansion and all that kind of stuff. But if you mix in a Warp Prism, giving the high ground vision, as well as potentially even just like saying, well, I'm going to blink, do a bunch of blink micro at the front, keep all your units there, and then drop 2 Zealots in your mineral line, like that can be the most annoying thing in the world.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, if your Reapers are going to be good on a map, so are Blink Stalkers. I mean, it's just kind of a one-to-one thing there.
Well, we have the 3 Stalkers from Space Marine overcommitting just a little bit. Ends up losing one of them. The Stim managing to catch the second one. And even the 3rd one.
Ooh, double Stim.
Damage. Oh man, he really wants that Stalker, and it's gonna work out well for him. But the Warp Prism is sitting over in his main base. Does he actually notice it? Well, do either of these players notice it?
Oh man, come on, drop those Zealots.
Okay, there we go. Zealot finally being dropped manages to kill off a couple of SCPs, but gonna have to be picked up.
Gets away scot-free?
He does, but I mean, Costa's taking a third expansion behind all this. I mean, he's managed to kill off a lot of those stalkers. Those earliest 3 stalkers really shut down a lot of the map control and ability for Space Marine to be able to do a lot of annoying things. And oh, he's gonna move it over here. He has a lot of very low health units, but he's gonna be taking out the Mothership Core and a couple of these stalkers, trading them with a Fortune Overcharge. This is actually a really, I really like that play. Because normally, yeah, the trades I wouldn't have liked as much, but he took out so many units that, like, it's going to be hard for Space Marine to actually move out and pressure this third.
Yeah, there's not going to be enough stalkers now for Blink to really do much.
Oh, man. This is actually a really, really smart play from Kos. And, I mean, Space Marine has seen the... Oh, no, he hasn't seen the third. Oh, he is... Okay, he sees SCVs transferring. He's got to know now. Right? He's got to know.
I don't know.
Well, actually, I guess it's not going to matter. He's going to be pushing in here regardless, and Immortal is going to come out and help out against that Immortal, or sorry, the Marauder. Units being picked up, and I mean, he definitely knows that there's a third expansion now.
Yeah, and I think Kos got blindsided here by the Blink Stalker, because obviously there's no bunkers up. Like he didn't even anticipate it.
This could be a bit troublesome. He's pulling a lot of these SCVs, knowing that he has a third command center to fall back on to use for the mules and everything.
That's a really nice concave there.
Oh, man. Yeah, it looks like he's going to finally be able to plant down at least one bunker. Pretty far forward, actually. What do you think about that placement, actually?
No, that's fine. Yeah, because he's got his units positioned. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And Colossus in the mix right now. Immortal getting very low on health, but not quite getting sniped. So low on health. Could be a target for a little bit later on. Colossus doesn't quite have thermal lance, I don't think.
Nope.
Is taking a lot of damage over here. He has to be so careful with the Blink Stalker Micro. And just the unit control from Space Marine has been pretty good. He's managed to keep a lot of the units alive for the most part.
Yeah, this is a lot of stalkers. Oh man, for how many Marauders? 4?
Oh, man.
This is going to go pretty bad for Kos.
And literally all of these units, the Stalkers can blink up into the main base, and the Colossus could just walk up into the main base if he so chooses to. And the bunker in that situation is not going to be that helpful. There is, I don't know, there's a Widowmine waiting around in case the War Prism decides to move back in over there with a Zealot or anything. But this is a very weird situation for Kos, I think.
Yeah, it is, but the thing is all he needs to do is keep holding.
Yeah.
Keep holding, and at some point he's going to get the numerical superiority that he needs to repel any type of blink attack.
Yeah, I think the weird part comes into him not really having potentially a good idea of what his opponent is up to. Because, yeah, he's seen that one Colossus, so yeah, he knows there's Colossus out on the map right now. But, I mean, he's having kind of a little bit of trouble finally reestablishing that third expansion, and that's kind of bought Space Marine time to get up his own third expansion. And now that super duper early third expansion that Kos had gone for, pretty much negated.
Yeah. And Space Marine has held a economic advantage for a large portion of this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he managed to kill off a lot of SCVs during the course of that entire fight as well. So he's going to be feeling comfortable, I have to feel, and especially with the fact that he has a handful of Colossus still out on the map right now. He managed to keep alive that Colossus from earlier, and now he can transition straight out into Templar tech. I don't know if Kos is going to be prepared to deal with this if he doesn't do some kind of pressure before the High Templars actually come out.
Yeah, I don't... He's got 3 Colossus, and there's only 6 Vikings. Yeah, this could be interesting.
Well, triple medevac drop going to be coming out from Kos. A bit of a change up from the first series that we saw with Rainer, who really didn't actually like to drop all of that much. A couple times that he did, though, it was very, very effective. So it goes to speak that drops can really turn a game around in this matchup. But, oh, look at this. Space Marine, he already has his Stalkers are well positioned to deal with this. Oh, man. One medevac instantly ends up falling.
That hurt.
That is just a very, very annoying loss over there for Kos. Trying to get some nice damage done over there. And, oh, he finds the Warp Prism. Isn't quite able to get it. But, still, I don't think that Cost losing that one medevac is going to be like too big of a game changer. It's kind of annoying.
No, Storm is what's going to be that game changer.
Yeah.
Which is about to finish.
And Cost, yeah, the thing is, Cost hasn't been able to do the damage. As you were saying, like, it was about finding a way to put some pressure on to punish Space Marine for going for such fast High Templars while also getting up the Colossus count and everything, and he really wasn't quite able to do it. And now he's going to be facing off against Storm and the Colossus, and yeah, he has the Viking count to deal with a handful of these Colossus. But
he's got the perfect number of Vikings, actually. 2.5 per Colossi.
Yeah, awesome. And he has a 4th expansion going up now, so that's also going to be nice. And he scans. That's also good. He sees the High Templar. That's the first step is knowing what the hell you're about to walk into.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of got blindsided by that blink, but that's the last blindside I think is going to happen in this game.
Oh, High Templar's trailing very far behind right now. It looks like a Space Marine going to have to retreat back for just a second. Wait for those High Templars to catch up. And now Koss, he's going after the Colossus. Magic picks off one of them. A Storm does go down on top of those Vikings. Oh, the High Templar are a little bit vulnerable, but don't actually manage to lose or end up losing the life. And a couple of defensive Storms going down for Space Marine. Does he have any more High Templars behind? Oh, yeah, he just warped in a bunch more.
Yeah, he does. And behind this, Kaz is putting down his 4th.
Yeah, the 4th expansion going to be really, really helpful. Vikings actually managed to pick off all the Colossus, so it's pretty much just going to be up to the Storms now. And ooh, Charge Zealots doing a pretty good job. +2 weapons on the Charge Zealots, although I do have to give the upgrade advantage over here to Koss, sitting on 2-1 with +2 weapon or armor, I should say, going to be finishing up relatively soon to complement the fact that his opponent just finished up +2 or is about to finish up +1 armor. Yeah, it's sort of an interesting situation now because the Colossus count has basically been reset.
Yes, it has.
And the Viking count is still there. So I don't know how much I would even like to see the Colossus getting too heavily involved in the engagements, but it's really going to come down to the Storms, but the big EMPs actually go down on a lot of High Templars.
Yeah.
Still 1 or 2 Storms left over.
That did not go well for Protoss.
Oh.
The units kind of circled around as opposed to engaging directly. It was a very bad charge.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. A single stalker going to be trying to do some nice harassment to this 4th expansion, but that's going to get cleaned up, and it was definitely not worth the cost of losing all of those units that he just lost. A couple stalkers going to be retreating back. He knows he just has to muster up the forces to try and deal with this. He's warping in a lot of zealots, and these charged zealots are going to be able to at least create a nice little buffer for his army, but
maybe
is it going to be enough?
There's still some full energy ghosts in there that could really demolish them with a good EMP.
Oh man, Space Marine really needs to split up those High Templars. He cannot allow a single EMP to just decimate the entire storm capabilities of his High Templar. And oh man.
Now see, this is an interesting situation here. We got several command centers going down for Kaz, but right now they're even in bases.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of a stalemate going on in the middle of the map. So the question is where is he going to put down the CCs?
Well, looks like he's going to be putting it down on the top left-hand side. Yeah. Gets canceled immediately by those zealots, but kind of teasing at engagements over here. Once again, EMP goes off on a handful of, I think a couple of the stalkers, but does not manage to land on the High Templars. At the same time, a handful of these units up in the top side of the 4th expansion of the Protoss player try to do a little bit of harassment, but no. Space Marine is already prepared for it with a handful of these zealots. And just handfuls of units everywhere. Kind of poking around, prodding at each other. These two players pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, this is whatever economic lead Space Marine had now is pretty much been evened out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. +3 weapons, going to be finishing up for the Protoss player. A lot of High Templars just got warped in, actually. And we're now sitting at 10 High Templars.
And this is a great flank here from Koss. There's not going to be any way to stop the Nexus from going down if he pushes in.
And
but he
only
didn't.
He only has to push in with a couple of units, though.
Wow.
And army,
those Vikings were so perfectly positioned.
Yeah, the charge ults are finally
Oh
decimated, and the
god.
Terran army stays strong. No Colossus left over, no charge ults, no Stalkers left over. The fourth expansion gonna get absolutely murdered over here.
Wow, he
Probes are
baited
taking home.
he baited Space Marine in by starting to push at the Nexus, pulling away. Fooled even me, and I had the high level view, and the Colossi went rushing forward and just got demolished.
And this is honestly exactly what Koss needed to do. He needed to get a really perfect positioning. That is what these late game engagements are in PvT. It's about finding the perfect angle, finding the perfect time and moment to EMP or storm or whatever, and making the most of it. And he's doing a good job with it. Oh, actually, kind of decent engagement angle. A lot of these Zealots and Archons going to be forced into the choke, but Koss is kind of trapped over here.
Yeah, he's trapped, but I think at this point, whoa, this
Ooh,
is pretty much waiting for
storms.
reality to set in for Space Marine.
Oh man, yeah. The big difficulty is actually the entire army actually just got cleaned up. Koss still has a lot of these medevacs units able to heal up. He's gonna be buying himself a little bit of time by trying to engage a lot of these units from Koss. And Paul still Marine is trying to work away on that expansion, but GG gets called. Empire Koss gonna be taking game number 1.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was a really even game for the most part, and finally we had. Sorry, I just got a notification about extension mods being a new feature in StarCraft 2.
Really?
Yeah,
Had no
did you
idea.
guys know about that? I didn't know about that. We haven't been using extension mods the entire day already. But yeah, I mean, it was a really even game up until exactly what you were saying, like that really, really nice bait out from Koss got him that nice positional advantage, was able to basically take not only the engagement, but also take out the expansion. And from there, like, I think Space Marine just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, that was it. It just took one better positioning, and the whole game was over. As is usually the way it happens in late game TVP.
Yeah. But you know what? I got to say something, Rob.
Hmm.
That was not one of those kind of losses where you say, like, oh, damn, I just got, like, told. Oh, looks like we actually had our camera shut off. Unfortunately, Skype does have limitations on how long cameras
Oh
are
yeah, we
allowed
had to
to stay
restart
on
the call.
randomly sometimes. But that was not one of those games where you think, oh, man, I just got outplayed. Like, how the heck am I going to beat this person in game number 2? That was one of those. We had a really close game, and my opponent made a really, really smart move and managed to like kind of pull one over on me.
You
But
know,
I have a very good chance in game, like the rest of the
I
series.
know it. I'm gonna have to go back on what I said earlier. I think once Cass was able to get the position that he had,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was kind of like you're two moves away from checkmate. Like you already
Yeah.
know. It's like I have just
Mm-hmm.
gotten the superior army positioning. You didn't have your army in place. Now that I'm here, there's no way you can stop what I'm gonna do. I'm
Yeah.
either push into that fourth nexus, kill it, or I'm gonna do what I did there and bait you if you don't come in.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And when you lose that way, it's not exactly one of those demoralizing like I can't beat this guy kind of things. It's more of a oh man,
Yeah.
outsmarted me that game. Moving to the next game, I need to make sure that I'm a little bit smarter about like positioning and all that stuff, and make sure he doesn't kind of let that happen again. So I think are still pretty in for a good series. I could very well actually see this series potentially even going to like game 6 or game 7.
Yeah. Yeah,
These two
definitely.
players are really evenly matched. Um, but yeah, I'm just reading the chat right now. Players cheering for Terran, cheering for Koss. A lot of actually Koss fans in the chat right now. I know a lot of people also cheering for Space Marine though, just based on the Team Liquid thread. There was a voting that actually was going on, and a lot of people actually voting for Space Marine to try and take the series. So should be pretty interesting. I'm actually looking at that thread right now. It looks like we have 19 votes for Space Marine and 7 for Koss. 73% for Space
Nice.
Marine.
What happened to Rapid making little polls in the middle of the game? Come on, Rapid, get on it.
But yeah, with that being said, we do know what the next map is. It is going to be Habitation Station. And Habitation Station is a kind of interesting map. It has the gold expansion. What do you think about this, Rob, as a choice for Space Marine?
Um, I don't know yet.
All right, that's actually totally fair.
Yeah.
I, I think I actually like that kind of mentality because it really does depend on what the players want to do. We could very well see something sort of cheeky come out from Space Marine. We could see like some sort of weird kind of. I don't want to say like. I actually wouldn't like to see like a blink starline or anything like that, just because the map doesn't really lend itself to having a lot of area to like do a lot of blink stock or all-ish kind of things. There's also a natural expansion ramp as opposed to a map like Frost, where natural expansion is pretty much on the same level playing field as the, I guess, right outside of the natural expansion. So like you don't need the high ground vision on Frost, whereas you do on Habitation Station to like really put a lot of pressure on it. There's just a lot of different things that I think make it very difficult to make a blink stalker happen on Habitation Station. So I don't know. I would actually just like to see like a pretty normal gameplay out on this map.
Indeed.
But
You'll have to
yeah.
excuse me, I'm chomping down on the spaghetti.
Oh my god, that spaghetti sounds so good right now.
It is so good.
All right, but guys, we're going to be jumping into this next game, Terran versus Protoss. Currently, we have Koss up 1-0. For those of you tuning in for the first time, it is a best of 7. This is the final series of the night, and yeah, this is actually for $100 prize pool. So $75 is going to be going to first place. $25 is going to be going to second place in the show match, and both these players gonna want that $75. $75 is a decent chunk of money. You could buy, I think like 3 copies of StarCraft 2 on discount.
I'm sure it's worth a Euro pass for at least some duration.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the game, introduce the players as we spawn up here in the top left-hand corner of the map. Habitation Station on top of the blue Terran player representing Team Empire. It is Empire's Koss.
And spawning in at the top right. Currently down 0-1. Representing Team Gravity, it is Space Marine. And let me tell the viewers about my spaghetti. Spaghetti with meat sauce, cheese, freshly grated. Got my coffee, my water.
Pretty good, man. Space Marine, is Space Marine giving a shout out to Patient, like the Korean Protoss player Patience? It's talking about how much Patience can drink. Oh. And of course they're talking about apple juice.
I think Koss was talking about how you played him in WCS Challenger League earlier.
Oh, gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patience, super solid Protoss player. Really scary. Yeah, Space Marine agrees. Patience, #1 Protoss. It's not hard to discuss Protoss. Don't be mad. Well, Koss, I hate to break it to you, but you're playing against a Protoss player.
And you just won, so.
Oh, man.
Congratulations.
That is true. Currently up 1-0 against the Protoss menace in his mind. Maybe the Protoss hero, if you're a Protoss player. But yeah, we have, once again, a single gas opening coming out from Space Marine. Really seems to like to go for that versus the double gas opening. I see a lot of Protoss players go for the double gas opening just because they like having that extra energy on the Mothership Core.
Yeah.
A little bit earlier on, just because you get it out a little bit faster, it has more energy. You don't cut, or I guess like cut it really close with your timings on your photon overcharges and stuff sometimes. But you know, getting up the earlier expansion also a really nice little advantage of only grabbing that one gas geyser. It's all very, very small differences in the end though. Ooh, reactor opening coming out from Koss. I mean, taking a page from the book of Raynor in series number 1.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, he didn't even make the Reaper first. Just went straight to the reactor.
Interesting. Now, SCV did try and come in over here. And actually, speaking of taking pages from the book of players from earlier in the series, we actually have Space Marine also doing the whole I'm gonna plant all my buildings behind my mineral line kind of game. uh, I'm not entirely opposed to this one, I guess. He's not like creating big wall offs, I guess. So that means that if a drop goes back there, he's not only created like one sort of funnel and choke point for him to move into, at least. Like there's still multiple angles you can send like Zelds in and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's certainly not like Wingian, who would basically blockade the entire mineral line in his main.
Yeah, to try and deal with the Reapers, but I mean, I guess it worked out for Wingian for the most part because he didn't really get punished for it. So in the end, I guess that's all that matters. In the meanwhile, we do have costs. I mean, making Marines has actually a bit of a mineral banks now starting to build up. Actually, where is his factory?
Pretty quick robo. I mean, not.
Oh, okay.
Not a rush robo, but pretty rapid.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're going to see a cheeky drop here. I'm almost certain that's what's going to happen here from Kaz.
I can definitely see that. I mean, the starport and the factory are being put way behind the mineral line, which makes it much more annoying to try and like ever get vision of or anything. If for whatever reason, even if the observer comes in, it just delays scouting it out for a little bit longer. Sometimes observers are a little bit lazy and they kind of cut corners and don't actually scout it out. Yeah, I think that this could actually work out relatively well. SpaceMarine, as you were saying, was going for the much faster robo, and he's getting out Observer and then Warp Prism. Neither of those deal too well with a drop. No, because neither of them really attack.
Yeah, that's kind of a pretty quick Warp Prism. What is he planning?
Well, he has a Sentry out. That's also the other interesting thing.
Is he going to wall off with a Sentry?
That's what I'm wondering, and that's honestly that shouldn't work out too well if there is the
it's too late.
Medevac out. I mean, yeah, Medevac's already moving across the map with 2 Widow Mines. The Warp Prism is still going across the map. He has just the Sentry in there. 3 Stalkers going to be warped in. The funny thing is both of these players have seen each other's drops coming, so neither of these should work.
Yeah, certainly Kaz's is not going to work. No, SpaceMarine is going to go ahead and not do it. It's probably a smart idea. There were a ton of Marines there.
Well, I don't know. I think he's going to warp in maybe an extra couple of Zealots or something, and maybe just try and drop the Zealots first.
And Blink has started, so...
Ooh. This is kind of interesting.
I don't know if this is going to really work. There's plenty of Marines there.
I wonder if this is a defensive Blink. Not so much an offensive.
Yeah, that I would imagine. But I don't know about the 3 Zealots in a Sentry.
Oh yeah. Well, this has actually not been scouted until just now. They finally come out into vision range, and that's actually a lot of Zealots. A handful of Marines actually still left at the natural expansion. I actually feel like this number of Zealots can actually easily deal with the number of Marines over in the main base.
Yeah, they got that. They got the attack in and managed to take out enough Marines.
Oh, the Sentry didn't actually force field. He actually just used his energy on.
Oh, he's gonna get knocked down by SCVs.
Oh man. Well, 2 Stalkers in the mix now. They're actually microing their heart out.
Yeah, you kill that reactor. Sentry, go for it.
Well, honestly, I mean, he's killed off so many SCVs that this has most certainly been worth it. Like by any stretch of the imagination.
15 workers killed.
And the Zealots only just now finally get cleaned up. He sees exactly where all the production facilities are at and everything. Sees the engineering bay and can actually start up his own upgrade. As he does actually have his own forge ready and waiting to start researching upgrades, but. I mean, what does Koss do from here? Does he basically have to go for a drop and try to, I guess, kind of even up the work counts? He's down like a solid 20 workers.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull something out of the hat of magic tricks. Because this is not going to be one with a straight-up macro game now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if he can just hold on, build up his work count a little bit, and then go for like a gold expansion, maybe? I don't know if he can even try and defend that, though.
Gold is gimmicky.
It is, but it works. Like, I mean, you get extra minerals. Oh, actually, shoot. Hold that thought. Bunker empty. Immediately gets picked off by all of these Blink Stalkers. Blink Stalkers now going into the natural expansion mineral line, killing off more and more SCVs if Koss didn't take
I think that's funny. They let the SCVs through. He didn't block them off.
Oh, my God. Well, I think... Oh, God.
He probably wasn't paying attention.
I don't know. Maybe he was just expecting the SCVs to like.
Make way, make way. And the stock
I
is
think
like,
they
all
were
right.
just, yeah, probably just assumed they were going to be mineral lock. But at this point, I mean, there's not even enough units to defend this, much let alone enough SCVs left alone to even make a comeback. Even if he could kill off this entire push, this is gonna be a very, very difficult comeback. Because yeah, he has a drop going down in the main base, but that is going to be it. GG gets called. SpaceMarine even it up the series 1-1. You know, I always, whenever I see like a Terran player that just has like a drop in his opponent's base with like at least 2 medevacs worth of units, even if he's losing his entire base, is gonna be like, basically have like 0 units left over. I always play the what if game of what if the Terran player just lifted up everything and tried to go for a base trade with 2 medevacs worth of units.
Well,
like it's like a 5% chance that you'll win. But as a Protoss player, it's really annoying to play against someone who's being like, he's like lifting up buildings and like playing super evasive with like medevacs and like drops and all that kind of stuff. Like even just like annoying your opponent so that, oh, going into game 3, I have to go handle all that again. That's like, it's taxing.
Oh, so your goal, okay, so you're gonna troll your opponent, basically, is what you're saying.
Kind of, yeah.
Like you're that guy that you're playing chess, he's up 2 rooks, and you refuse to resign.
I am the guy who it's like it's one of those weird bishop king versus, I think it was like bishop king knight versus just a king.
Oh god, that takes forever to finish that mate.
It takes forever to finish, and you're like, look, dude, you're dead. I have a bishop and I have a horse, like a knight. I can force the checkmate. It just takes forever to get you over there. And I'm like, no. I'm gonna make you deal with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna run your clock out.
Because there's like a 3% or like a 5% chance that you're gonna mess this up, and I'm gonna force like a stalemate or whatever. Like, and hey, you know what? It actually does help when you're playing a best of 7. A best of 7 series is actually pretty long. If this goes to like a game 7, that's actually quite a while to be playing like a 1 series against 1 player. You can kind of annoy them. You can kind of make them not want to like actually put, like, you start cutting corners or start making mistakes at that point where you're like, oh man, I have to go clean up like this drop or something. Like sometimes you just like send the units there, and maybe you're like have all your zealots tagging along to like deal with like, I don't know, some sort of error, like try and pick off a medevac or something. Like it's a small little mistakes that can really make a big difference. So I personally like to see players do that. I know a lot of people don't, because sometimes most of the time it's a waste of people's time.
Yeah, I generally reserve the float for when somebody calls GG before you do. Then like that's a way to get me to instantly float my buildings is you call the GG. All right, so I'll just float on my buildings and, you know, go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, I make it a point that if I'm ever like on past 3 bases, I just have a probe sitting somewhere out on the map to plant down proxy balance. But if it gets to a point where they're like being really, really mean or like a total jerk about the game, I use that probe to start planting down random nexus in random locations.
God.
I am definitely that guy. It's a good thing though. I am doing well in my ladder right now. So Discord SC Fear Dragon sounds like arguing with a woman. Well then, we're not going to touch that one with a 20-foot pole. Let's go ahead and jump into the next game and introduce the players as we spawn up here in the top right-hand corner of the map, Alterzim's Stronghold, as per choice of Empire Koss. It is going to be the blue Terran player representing Team Empire. It happens to be Koss.
Excuse me. And down here in the bottom right, representing Team Gravity, playing as Protoss, it is SpaceMarine. And, you know, I just noted, you guys don't have the Tampa Esports logo here on the overlay at all.
Oh, for shame.
It says Android TV Canada.
For shame, Team Gravity.
Yeah, on the ground. Oh, does it really in game?
Yeah, so what ends up happening, we're actually talking about our observer. That's why you guys are hearing like Rob talk to himself. He was like, yeah, we have our observer who current TV. Big shout out to him. He's like freaking amazing. Best observer in North America. I defend that to the death. But yeah, he's talking in our ear. He's the voice in our ear. You guys can't hear him. We're not entirely sure if he's hallucinated.
He's actually telling me what to say. Like I'm just reading a
We're actually reading a script at this point, basically. We're not entirely sure, though, whether we're actually broadcasting out or whether we're actually just hallucinating him and just talking about StarCraft with each other by ourselves on Skype.
And he also bleeps virtually every other word I say. If you guys have
of course. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be relatively normal openings. Actually, we might have Gateway then Nexus coming out.
Yeah, people are counting how many games I've been eating the spaghetti.
Dude, don't hate on the spaghetti, man. The longer spaghetti lasts, the better. I'm going to make some spaghetti after this. Okay, but I do want to note again.
Yeah.
Nexus before Cybernetics Core.
Yes.
What that means is Cybernetics Core gets delayed, Stalker gets delayed, Mothership Core gets delayed, and guess what? Koss gets a first scout off on his opponent, first try, on a big 4-player map like Ultra Team Stronghold, and he's going for Reapers. This is actually kind of potentially a big deal. Like, that Reaper can actually do some nice damage now.
Yeah, it could be pretty annoying.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Again, the map is big, so the Reaper does take a little bit extra time to get over there. Cybernetics Core will actually finish up by the time the Reaper gets there, but should be like a good, I want to say like 15 to 20 second window where you can just pick away at probes, and there's really nothing that SpaceMarine can do.
Yeah, the SpaceMarine should be able to micro his probes though. Just one at a time as they're getting low health.
Yeah, that's true. Very much like
setting them off the gas or something.
Yeah, very similar to how drones actually handle it. But
he's not microing them at all.
Yeah, a little bit difficult. Is the Zealot going to be doing a good job of at least chasing after this Reaper? But 2 probes already going down. It's already way more damage than a Reaper normally actually manages to get. 3 probes. Oh my God! Don't tell me he's going to get a 4th probe. No way. This Reaper's not.
Yeah, that shouldn't.
Oh
this
my
should not
God.
be happening.
And this is a byproduct of what happens when a Protoss player takes a risk, and this is like a calculated risk from SpaceMarine. He says,
I know, but he should still micro his probes better than that. He shouldn't lose 4 of them to the Reaper. Maybe 1. I mean, 1 is okay. 2, all right, whatever. A little sloppy, but 4?
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate. SpaceMarine let that happen to the Reaper. Good job by Koss actually microing his Reaper around, making sure he was actually, honestly, just out microing his opponent and being able to pick off all those probes. And now it might not seem like a big deal. You know, it's like whatever, 4 pro. That's actually kind of a big deal right now because this early on in the game, that sort of spirals a little bit out of control. Like it adds up in terms of how many minerals extra that SpaceMarine should have. It puts his build off just slightly also. So things are going to be slightly even more delayed.
Yeah, I noticed, SpaceMarine is going to 4 gates now. I think he's feeling like he needs to put a little pressure on.
Yeah, he's going to be moving across the map. His Mothership Core is still staying at home, though. So he's not going to have high ground vision. And on a map like Ultra Team Stronghold, it's not like you can just pressure the natural expansion. You kind of need the high ground vision. You can't really pressure the natural expansion without pressuring the main base first. And the pylon actually even gets canceled over here. Oh man, nothing is working out for SpaceMarine in this game.
Oh, here comes another pylon.
And that's actually not going to get scouted.
Well, we canceled it.
Oh. Well,
he must have saw the Marauder with the Stalker.
Yeah. He's going to walk up into the main base with the Stalker, and that's going to be trapped. That's a dead Stalker. But
what are you doing with that Stalker, man? That's not a probe.
That's an expensive scout.
That is not a probe, buddy.
Oh, God. You know, I honestly think that right now we're just kind of seeing SpaceMarine sort of tilted by the fact that he lost those early 4 workers. Because like even with that Stalker, not only was that kind of like like a very expensive scout to use, but then even like he got behind the mineral line, and then he started attacking the command center instead of even like attacking an SCV. Like you could tell like he's miscontrolling, he's making mistakes that he ordinarily would not be making, and it's the psychological damage of the Reaper as well as the economic damage.
Yeah. Or he's just frustrated at his fact that he lost 4 probes when he shouldn't have.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I do want to note behind this, we have Warp Prism coming out.
Yep.
Warp Prisms we've seen today. Very, very good.
Every game so far from Space Marine.
Yeah, every game. We also saw them almost every game from I think it was Wingen.
Well, they're a damn good unit. I mean, why the hell not build a few or one?
Hey man, we saw War Prisms even up very weird situational games. But whoa, okay, he's going for the Sentry drop again. This is an interesting choice. Oh, this timing. I don't know if this is brilliant timing or terrible timing.
You know, I know all the Marines are pushing out. I'm still not convinced this is really going to do much.
So the difference between this map and the other map is on this map, you can't force field off the natural expansion from the main base, and like there's bunkers blah blah that need to be over there. Like, I don't know. What are you force fielding? Like,
well, actually, there's 2 medevacs. Oh, that hallucinated Phoenix was perfect.
Well, that was really important, but I still don't know. Does he have any units to actually defend this?
Yeah, especially because I think he's gonna force field off the ramp and then pull a photon overcharge if he's pressured. Okay,
yeah, that's fair. Looks like I don't think Costa's gonna have a little bit of trouble trying to move up and over there. I do have to say though, Space Marine loses some of those pilots. Gets pretty heavily supply blocked actually. 86 out of 84. I thought I said 64. But yeah, still regardless, annoying to get beat supply block. Kind of sets you behind, delays that next immortal that he wants to have out, delays everything else, and kind of forces him to just throw down a bunch of extra gateways. And you
see the cheeky Nexus up there in the top left?
Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. What exactly is Koss going to do about it? Nothing, because he's not going to know about it.
He doesn't know.
It's freaking Altruism Struggle. That is okay. Let's put this into perspective. Unless he's using or scouts it out with like his medevac or something, an SCV or a Marine or something has to not only travel up to that location, but that's like the natural expansion spot for that top left-hand expansion. Like it has to go into the main base and then down into the natural expansion to scout that.
Yeah, but Cass, you see how Cass has got that Marine sitting there where the 3rd should be? He's going to be very suspicious.
I don't know
if that 3rd doesn't go down, it's pretty soon.
He may even just be expecting like some kind of big 2-base push. Like he may just be thinking like, oh man, my opponent still hasn't expanded. Like I need to prepare for some kind of big all-in, throw down some bunkers. Like yeah, he's throwing down just one bunker over his 3rd expansion. That's probably a pretty standard bunker.
Yeah, I don't know it's. I do have the view of God here, but I don't know. In Cass's position, I'd be like, dude, why? You haven't even tried for this 3rd.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the way that Space Marine was kind of handling it, because it looked like what he was doing was he left his Sentry and his 2 Immortals over. Koss, you're so smart. Boost into the medevac to get a full scout off on everything. Because you have to realize when those Marauders and everything were poking up the ramp from Koss, the 2 Immortals and the Sentry were at the ramp. Everything else...
You see the recall? He just recalled the probes to the 3rd.
Oh, that is so sick. This is actually a really cool move that I saw Saravati from Clarity Gaming do before. Doesn't need to send them to mine, but I mean, really, really cool move. God. I'm not sure if Koss realizes what's going on.
He's gotta know. I mean, because he scouted that army, and he's like, dude, why is your army so puny? You're on 2 bases, you're not expanding, you should have a huge army. He's gotta know.
Yeah. I don't know what he can do about it though. Like right now, he's going to deal with this kind of push.
He's got to find the damn thing and then take advantage of the fact that it's all the way across the map.
I don't know. Protoss can. I mean, the Mothership Core is over there. It could photon overcharge if any like small Grizzly units are over there, as well as like even just warping a couple of Zealots or Stalkers or something. Unless Koss commits a lot of his army over there, it should be kind of. It would be kind of difficult to do a lot of pressure over there.
Well, then if
I see what you're saying.
Put down a 4th. I mean, if he doesn't feel that it's feasible to take it down, he knows it's there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. It's a hard decision to make for Koss right now, and Because Cosmo's kind of like scouting around
Yeah,
again.
I'm switching to his point of view. What is he doing?
He's
Yeah,
looking for proxy pawns. I honestly think that he's expecting some sort of big push, and he's just like, where is it?
okay.
Where is it?
He just positioned his CC. All right, so he is gonna take his
Yeah.
fourth,
Well,
which is the wise thing to do.
yeah, but I mean, Space Marine is also taking his fourth expansion, so I I guess at this point, it's not even gonna. I don't think there's anything that Cost will really be able to do to. Like he hasn't realized that the expansion's up there now, and when he finally sees, oh yes, okay, my opponent's finally taking that expansion, like it's going to be even harder and harder to tell whether or not there's a hidden expansion on the map.
Um, yeah, but just because the attack hasn't come, the army isn't impressive. And actually, he might just steamroll this army and just end the game right here.
Think so? I mean,
oh yeah.
Sonic Storm's about to finish up in like 10 seconds if you just buy enough time and not lose too many Colossus.
Yeah, he's just gonna.
Yeah, you're right. This is gonna be a very difficult hold. Sonic Storms actually go down. Whoa, whoa! Those are some really good storms, and I mean, Colossus is actually doing some good work over here. There is a handful of units left over. Are there any storms left over? There's gonna be one more storm, but it doesn't look like it's quite gonna be enough.
That's a lot of medevacs. There's about one medevac per unit now.
Yep, and
the Marauder's got personal medevac.
GG gets called. Empire Cost gonna push on through. Doesn't even need to know what else is out on the map.
Yeah.
You have hidden expansion. Doesn't matter. I have a bigger army.
Well, that's all it came down to. Yeah, he just sat in his base a little too long. The hidden expansion, he didn't. I don't know if he didn't really. I didn't look at his minerals or his gas, to see if he capitalized on it. But his army was too small for a 3-base Protoss.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting. I think that he was also trying to get up the Colossus tech and everything. Maybe he wasn't like boosting out as many pros as maybe he needed to, or maybe he was just actually. You also have to consider the fact that he was going straight up to that Templar tech. Like he just got out the Sonic Storms just like at the last second. Honestly, I wonder if he had gotten Sonic Storm research like 5 to 10 seconds earlier, if that would have made a big difference. Because
yeah, that timing push literally was like, because Storm wasn't ready.
5 to 10 seconds too early for Space Marine to be prepared for, and that makes or breaks the difference. Because he ended up losing an extra like 1.5 Colossus, like one of the Colossus lost all of its shields, lost a handful of Stalkers and like sentries and stuff. Doesn't lose all those maybe if he has Storm finished up already. And with that being said, Cost is going to be up 2-1 right now.
And I think Space Marine's going to take a break for a minute.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. And we can use this time to kind of give a shout out to our sponsors. Of course, Tampa Esports. Rob, tell us a little bit more about Tampa Esports for anyone tuning in for the first time or just now.
Tampa Esports is a local, that is Tampa, Florida esports organization. What we do is we host LANs here in Tampa, serving the greater Tampa, St. Petersburg area. We have, I think we've had 3 tournaments now for money. And one of the things I like to do through Tampa Esports is sponsor teams and events. For instance, Team Gravity's Fight Night, which this is number 9 of, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, really awesome to see more of these kind of things pop up and just give players more stuff to do. Like, I think that's just like one of the big things, giving them reasons to play and practice and everything. But of course, our other sponsor is Android TV Canada. Be sure to check them out, and you can learn more about them. They actually provide a satellite TV service for people who are interested in it in Canada. And if you are in Canada and are thinking about it, go check out the Team Gravity website, because Team Gravity actually does have a promotional code that you can use on the Android TV Canada website. It'll give you a little bit of a discount on your service. Be sure to check that out. And I don't know, do you want to just cut to a short little break and we'll hop back when...
I think Space Marine's back, but yeah, sure.
That's fine. Okay. Yeah, awesome. And the next map is actually going to be Overgrowth then. So we can just kind of wait while the next map is actually kind of made and everything. But I don't know. It's been a pretty back and forth close series.
It has. No blowouts. No blowouts at all.
And I can't really think of any like huge things. I'm just like, man, if this player would just stop doing this, like they would have so much of a better chance of like not having not losing all these games. Like it's not like this one consistent thing that I think either player is.
Yeah,
like,
we're not seeing no sloppy play.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of
So
course,
yeah,
Flash or Innovation's probably watching one of these games and be like, "Yeah, no sloppy play." But you know, for any human being, there's really been no majorly sloppy play.
Using his ruler is like, yeah, this build order is just the right timing.
Yeah, he probably has a ruler to check that his ruler hasn't changed.
That would actually be the coolest, like the most badass thing ever.
You know, I'm kind of disappointed though. He's getting knocked back down to what? Or knocked out of Code A? Yeah, Jesus, Flash.
It's like God getting knocked out of heaven.
He must have gotten a girlfriend. I mean, there's really no other explanation.
He must have got a new ruler.
Yeah, or he grew a little bit, and then he needs to retake his measurements.
He's usually one of those like, not like a hard ruler. He's usually one of those like tape pull-out rulers. What are those called? You know what I'm talking about? The ones that like you use to measure like people's height and stuff. Like you pull them out.
Yeah,
and,
measuring tape.
The measuring tape. He's probably using measuring tape now, and it's affecting his performance.
Tampa's too far from Gainesville. Are you kidding me? Ruff actually drove down from North Carolina to compete in our second tournament. So don't be bitching.
That's pretty awesome. Okay. Sorry guys, reading the chat. You guys are talking about some interesting stuff in the chat. You guys have some interesting conversations in the chat.
Especially when it was, what was it? Discord and some other guy working back and forth. It's pretty funny.
Indeed. But let's go ahead and jump in and introduce the players as the game is now loaded up and the map is going to be overgrowth as we spawn up here in the top right-hand corner of the map. Top of the blue Terran player representing Team Empire and currently up 2-1. It is Empire's Cost.
And spawning in the bottom left, representing Team Gravity in Europe, playing Protoss, it is SpaceMarine. Killing me with only Android TVs in the little...
Someday, Team Gravity will change it. They'll fix it. Get Tampa Esports in there.
Yeah. It's alright. I don't take it personally.
You just won't be sponsoring anymore.
No, I'm so used to it. It's like this happens. It's like, who cares? Honestly, it's more about seeing something like this succeed than promoting Tampa Esports.
Be sure, guys, to give both Tampa Esports and Android TV some love. Follow them over on Twitter and everything. Check them out. I know that all the links to Team Gravity and all that other stuff has been posted in the chat, and you can go ahead and go to those Twitter pages and all that stuff and find the links to, of course, Tampa Esports and Android TV, etc. But, I mean, Rob.
Okay.
Dude, we are getting a gas geyser going down.
Well, actually, you know, I find this kind of funny. Somebody named Effect So Foxy, so I'm gonna guess this is a girl because they find Effect to be Foxy, or guy. No, it's a guy because they use Foxy. Is asking, is this where I can watch Team Gravity's Fight Night? Yes, you are in fact in Team Gravity's channel watching Team Gravity Fight Night. Congratulations.
It's okay, Foxy. We still appreciate you as a viewer.
Yeah, hell yeah, we do. Every viewer is important.
Indeed. Even the bots.
Oh, we have bots now in our chat?
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen any bots. So, I mean, big shout out. I'm pretty sure it's Beast that's just like keeps pasting all the links and everything to check out Team Gravity and sponsors and everything. So
yeah, I think that's Beast.
That's a manpower, that's dedication. Go click on those links. Check them out, guys. This is not some bot just kind of like idly posting them. This is a real person, and you'll make the real person feel good about themselves.
Yep.
Click those links.
You will justify their existence.
His entire existence justified.
Wow, this is old school. We're seeing a bunker.
What?
Before the CC. Oh, that's so man. Cute.
Oh, well, it's just as well, because there is a zealot walking straight across the map.
Yeah.
This is not something that Protoss players do that often anymore.
And yeah,
he's actually delaying his warp gate technology and getting out the stalker. He has a mothership core also. Wow, he really wants to do some nice damage over here. This is actually a really old school way of opening up his Protoss as well. I mean, it's gonna get deflected over here.
Oh wow, effects. That is pretty funny. It's too much for me to say, but wow, he just pulled that out of his ass. That was pretty impressive.
That was pretty cute. But anyways, guys, what we're gonna end up seeing over here is this Zealot Stalker Mothership Core combo. It can actually kind of pressure the bunker. Like with 4 Marines, yeah, you can push it off from like really doing a whole lot of damage. But Mothership Core can move into the main base and be annoying as it is right now.
Yeah.
The Zealot Stalker can poke at that bunker and just like retreat out before losing anything beyond shields, and it's a nice little move. It's an old school move, and if Space Marine didn't get that bunker in time, you know what? He would be killing a lot of Marines right now. So I like the opening. I like the choice.
Yep. Yeah, and he's in a pretty solid position now.
I like Council. Oh man, this is... You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me actually of a build that I like to do on the ladder a lot. You basically get up 3 to 4 gateways, and you kind of poke in with this kind of early pressure over here. Keep the turn player honest, and hope that they don't lag out. But yeah, what this basically, then you follow it up with like a sort of economic blink opening. You kind of make a judgment call after you poke in with a handful of these stalkers.
Effects of Oxy, that makes sense.
Okay, Space Marine moving his way to victory. I think that's going to be very difficult.
Damn, that's pretty cheeky as well.
The Twilight Council?
No, the whole A move. And he's playing Protoss. That's pretty good.
It's clever.
It is very clever.
Okay, with all these Marines pushing out across the map, and the Mothership Core on the wrong side of these Marines, and there's no proxy pylon, or there's not even like any pylons at the natural expansion, like warp in units at. Warp gate technology was sort of delayed because he went for the fast stalker, and this is looking like a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, where's the Mothership Core?
Mothership Core is on the right-hand side of the map. It was being annoying, and he's going to end up losing some pros for certain.
Yeah.
Okay, Photon Overcharge goes down. Oh no, he's not moving his pros. His pros are actually starting to go down really rapidly to these Marines, and I mean, he's lost a lot of units over there. Yeah, the Marines all get killed off, but
yeah,
I don't know,
pros.
8 workers?
I don't know. This pretty much just evens the game out.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, their worker counts are about... No. Yeah. Yeah, I take that back.
Yeah, with the bunker still there, I think it's going to be difficult for Space Marine to really capitalize on the fact that he killed off a lot of those Marines. And, I mean, now is a very awkward situation where Space Marine is like, okay, do I commit to this after losing those workers? He has 4 gateways. Blink is being chrono boosted out. He's going to have it in, another 20 or so seconds. But, oh, God. Does Koss actually realize how big of a push and commitment that Space Marine is going for right now? I think if he did, he would throw down more bunkers.
Yeah, he needs more bunkers, especially with that pylon right there.
Oh my God, this is not going to be able to repair on the bunker. The bunker is actually going to go down, and
no metapacks. Stim's about to finish, so he'll be okay. Yeah, Stim's going to finish.
Okay, the time warp is going down. He's still losing a handful of these units, and Stim is not going to be finished up for another 5 seconds. How many more units can he actually pick off some nice blink micro? He actually did really lose too many stalkers over there. He's lost 2 stalkers total this entire game. And I believe both of those stalkers went down at the natural expansion of the Pros player. Oh, gonna be losing a couple over here. Stim is now finished up, and...
That's always risky pushing in on Terran around 10 minutes. Because Stim is almost certainly going to be done.
And even the Mothership Core looks like it's probably going to go down. Yeah, it does end up falling, and
whatever perhaps advantage Space Marine had is... Yeah.
Well, I mean, Space Marine had already lost a lot of workers. He tried to go for that push, and it looked like it was going to work, but I mean, Stim finishing up really changed the tide of the battle there. And I mean, at this point, he's lost his entire army of stalkers. That was a big investment that he delayed his tech for. And, I mean, medevacs are on the way for cost. He has a pretty healthy number of SCVs and everything. Like, where exactly does Space Marine go from here?
I don't know.
I feel like he's not down and out just yet, but he is in a very, very difficult situation. He definitely is going to have to pull back with these stalkers and probably rely on. Well, actually, no, he's not going to have enough energy for Photon Overcharge for another 30 seconds.
Yeah, he really has no answer because medevacs are out, and you have stimmed Vial versus gateway units.
Oh, God. And a third expansion going up. There's no tech even really going down right now, just more gateways because he realizes if he tries to throw up tech right now, he's probably just going to die to some kind of big push in. And double medevacs actually being dropped.
No,
we can pick this
off. This is probably not the best idea. I'm surprised Cass didn't just push straight in.
Yeah, maybe getting a little bit too cheeky with kind of like how trying to pick his opponent apart and everything. He's taking a third expansion behind this, so I think it's still okay, even if he loses those units. But you know what? Okay, I kind of like it because either your opponent is prepared for it, and you just pull back with the medevacs, like you don't really take too much damage. Your opponent takes a little bit of time to actually deal with it. In which case, you lose the medevacs.
Honestly, I think Protoss is fucked. I mean, there's really
no exactly. I think Koss is pretty much just secured a victory, and GG gets called. Koss gonna be taking game number 4, bringing the series 3-1, 1 game away from victory. But yeah, I feel like going for the drop play. The thing is, anything that he did, even if he was just trading units at that point, like Protoss literally just didn't have any tech on the way. No capacity for splash damage. The later the game went, where the Protoss player did not have that kind of tech available, the more difficult it's going to become. So, I mean, even just trading units, like, it helps because Koss had a third expansion. He is going to go to the late game even if it was just trading a couple of units. So, I can kind of see, like, I think, yeah, pushing it at the front would make the most sense, but I guess I can kind of see the logic behind going for the drop.
I mean, he had it. Once he had medevacs and stim, and no AoE. I mean, that's it.
Indeed, but you know, with that being said, Koss gonna be 1 game away from victory against his opponent, and Gravity Space Marine are really gonna have to make something happen because he's gonna have to win 3 games in a row. This is like going back to the previous series we saw today. The best of 5s, it's going to be like winning one of those without dropping a single game. It's going to be hard. And I don't know,
it's a very confusing way to put it, but yes. I think.
Basically, he can't lose any games. He has to win 3 games straight in a row, and that's kind of hard. It's like trying to win every single game in a best of 5.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways.
So basically,
terrible analogies aside.
From here on.
So what I'm saying is that if we were on the Earth and the sun was 375 miles apart, then we would need 700. Sorry.
Wait, what?
I was just trying to be more confusing.
We would be in the sun.
We would be in this. Oh wow! Wait, yeah, we would. Oh god.
Like pretty much in the core of the sun.
Well, it's a really, really small sun. We're in a different galaxy. It's a space game.
Oh, it's a neutron star, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, okay. The maps that we've seen so far are Frost, Habitation Station, Ultrazeum Stronghold, and Overgrowth, okay? So those are the 4 maps we've seen already played on. They're basically out of the map pool now, right? The map pool is basically Ladder Pool plus Fruitland and Guangali Beach. Both of these players get 1 ban, though, on the maps. The bans were Guangali Beach and I believe it was... Oh, man, what was the other map?
God, I am getting chubby. My face is so fat looking. I can see.
Oh, baby.
Gotta go back to the gym.
Well, I don't blame you, man. Maybe you should just try eating a couple more fruits, because I hear the fruits are a very healthy part of every single diet.
That's funny.
For those of you who don't know, there is a map that I just mentioned. There was Guangali Beach, the Ladder map pool, and then Fruitland. Everybody knows Fruitland. Everybody loves Fruitland, except for the fact that no player loves Fruitland because it never gets picked, except for today, which is awesome. Now there's still a second opportunity.
Fruitland, nice.
Yeah, there's still a second opportunity.
I wonder if Space Marine's got a build prepared.
I hope so, man. And I hope it involves the lemons. Because I swear to God, I have seen so many games on this goddamn map. I've seen so many games.
Discord's about to light one up inside.
Oh, God.
Hey, that's banned in all 50 states now, buddy. I don't know.
I guess if it's your own house.
Yeah, I think you can do it in your own house.
Yeah. But I mean, I swear to God, I've seen so many games on Fruitland, and rarely ever do the actual lemons get taken and mined. And it's really sad. It's like this most unique aspect of the map, and it just gets completely ignored in like 90% of games on the map. So I am hoping that we have something cool come out from Space Marine. I hope he has something special planned.
Yeah, you know, Fruitland is cute. It's a fun idea, but man, unless you time it perfectly, 500 minerals just... It's really hard to say, oh, that's an insta win, or I can even get a huge advantage with it. Because you got to be able to spend those minerals quickly.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
You know, if it was like 2,000 minerals, and you could just drop like 5, 6, 7 barracks right there, and spit out a round of units, that'd be pretty cool. Also pretty broken, but...
Okay, well, here's a thought. In a situation where, let's say, you managed to... Let's say that you were in that last game.
Okay.
You were cost, okay? You go in, you lose 8 of your Marines, right? To try and kill off a bunch of the workers of your opponent. Space Marine was in this weird situation where he had a bigger army, but he lost a lot of his workers. So, what if on a map like Fruitland, you take advantage of the fact, like you maybe poke in at the front, see if you can do damage, and then let's say that there were more bunkers down. Then instead of, you know, just continuing to go for it, or like going home and like skulking back at home, you go kill off the rocks, mine 500 minerals, and just expand.
Yeah, but see, that would
it's like a free expansion.
If you'd already killed the stupid armored rocks, because of the amount of time it's going to take to kill them, I think it's too late.
If you have a bunch of blinks, like he had a bunch of like stalkers and stuff, like I think that you could take them out relatively quickly. Like it'd take like 20, 30 seconds maybe. I think. I know that even with 3 armor rocks,
I wish the map was more entertaining. I honestly do.
Yeah.
I love that there's fruits all over the place. I think that's pretty funny that you're mining fruits. Like, you should just be splattering those things instantly with your cutting torch, but it takes you that long to cut a fruit. But I think 500 minerals is not enough to really change the game, unfortunately. It's just too hard to kill the limit.
That's actually fair. But, I will say I like the map. Again, I've seen a lot of games on this map that in no way involve the fruit. And I've seen a lot of games on this map that are actually still kind of interesting, just because of the map layout and the way that the ramps work out and kind of how open it can be sometimes. So let's go ahead and jump in and introduce the players, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Fruitland. As we spawn up here in the top right-hand corner of Fruitland, on top of the blue Terran player, currently 1 game away from victory in the best of 7 series. It is Empire's Cost.
And hopefully coming back from behind, representing Team Gravity playing Protoss, down in the bottom left, it is SpaceMarine. I'm waiting for the day when I'm looking right at him and I call the wrong race.
Oh, I have done that multiple times.
I'm just, I could feel it at the tip of my tongue. Like, it's just wanting to happen.
I think the best time is when I do it, and I know consciously I'm thinking, Protoss, and I'll say Zerg.
That's even worse,
and
the
worst part is, and you don't even notice it, and then you see, 3 minutes later on, some delay on a stream or something, everybody's yelling at you, and you're like, I said Protoss, didn't I? I said Protoss. Anyways, guys, yes, I don't breathe between sentences. I know.
It's all right. Because actually, if it was just me casting, you guys are, I love you guys, but I can't carry a cast by myself because I am so direct and blunt. It's like, I don't fluff it.
This game is over.
It's this game. Yeah, Protoss is fucked. Like that's it. That's nothing more needs to be said. And then
I'm gonna go get some spaghetti now. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta refill.
Yes.
I already told you what the game is. Yeah, it's all good, man. But it's always fun though, because I know that it's not ideal in a lot of situations, but sometimes mistakes, they make the game a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
And mistakes happen like this. There is no player on Earth, potentially outside of Earth, or in Korea. Well, okay, sorry, on Earth, not in Korea, right?
Okay.
That there's no player that has played every single game perfectly, or even just a majority of their games like absolutely perfectly. I think that at least in a tournament setting, like I think that most players make at least some mistakes, and it makes the game more interesting. So you never know.
Oh, you got a Goblin Rift.
Huh?
My sister's playing Diablo, and like 10 goblins just spawned right in front of her.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
You know what reminds me of goblins and treasure goblins?
What's that?
Lemons, because they're basically the same way.
I was going to compare Fruitland to Whimsyshire. It's like everybody thinks it's cool at first, and then you're like, all right, how many more cuddle bears can you kill before it just... It's like, bears. I'm just slaying cuddle bears instead of demons.
Oh my god. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about how these openings have shaped up. We actually have had SpaceMarine, the first Protoss player this entire series, to actually go for the double gas opening, allowing to get up that slightly earlier mothership core. And I like the decision. You might as the mothership core opening is much safer to get it up earlier. You want to play safe at this point. Like, you have to win 3 games in a row. You don't want to lose to something like silly. And I mean, neither of these players are really scouting that much. So
yeah,
if you're not going to scout, you might as well take a couple of precautions. What is Koss up to?
Well, this is just typical 2 barracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more interested in this forge here from SpaceMarine.
Wow, that's like you sometimes
we
see like
see an immortal sentry here. I think that's exactly what.
No.
There's 2 sentries. +1 weapons is done, right?
More gateways being added on. Still no robo. This is interesting. This is really weird. Okay. Why do you say immortal sentry?
No. It's ground armor. Okay, definitely not.
Yeah,
It's gonna be zealots or something like that. This is. I thought I saw for some reason I saw weapons, but it's not weapons.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. Well, Twilight Council actually coming up, and I'm kind of wondering, what do you think about DTs? And just using them to maybe control the map a little bit early on?
Yeah, but why would you delay your DT so much with the Forge?
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, you go for the DTs and control the map, and basically, if your opponent doesn't punish you early enough, the DTs eventually get out. So it's you kind of delay them. So yes, you could be vulnerable to some earlier aggression, but once you get the DTs out, you kind of control the map, and you have a way ridiculously early upgrade. You also have a Twilight Council, so you can go for +2 armor immediately afterwards. I don't know. What do you think about it? Well, actually,
see, the moment I saw the ground armor, I was like, okay, zealots. I mean, that's what's happening.
Yeah. That does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
So
you think it's Charge-Light Archon then?
Yeah, that's definitely Charge-Light Archon. There's the Temple Archives. There you go.
Right.
I think we finally got this game figured out, folks. You can tune out now.
You know what? I actually.
Just kidding.
Don't tell them that. Just kidding.
This game is over. Actually, I don't know who's going to win it yet, but I think we finally got the build figured out.
Yeah. Okay, so I actually really like this, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Besides the lemons, which Koss, are you about to make me?
Yeah, he is.
Happiest
That's exactly what he's going to do.
World. No, wait.
I think he's doing this just
for you, buddy.
Yes.
Oh my god.
God, I can't believe these lemons have 3 armor.
Oh, I love Koss.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say I like this Charge-Light Archon play because if you look at the map, and like just as cost has kind of moved out, it's actually a pretty wide open map. Guess what? Force fields like to cut off like nice little chokes and everything. A little bit harder. Charge lots do pretty well in bigger open areas, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty badass.
Yeah, so I kind of like the decision for how this is sort of like the tech choice for Space Marine. It could work out well, but I don't know. What are some of the downsides of the charge lot arc?
Well, you know what? Storm is already halfway finished, so his transition out of it is going to be secured.
He's going to have +2 armor done as well. Like, these charge lots are literally just not going to die.
They're going to be pretty sick. Because +1 Wimpus is just now finishing up.
Are you kidding me? Not about the lag, guys. The fact that Koss is going for the second lemon. He's getting both of them. Rob, you were talking 500 medals is not enough.
Well,
he just takes both of them.
If he's allowed to keep bouncing back and forth, then yeah, sure. I mean, hey, thanks for the 3 extra barracks per lemon.
And he's taking a 3rd expansion behind this. And I guess that's totally fair. Like, that 3rd expansion is basically free at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Like, he can lose that and be like, okay, that's okay. I'm fine with that. Well, probably not fine with it, but he can live with it. Space Marine. Space Marine saying he's going to check the stream when he's...
I hate it when my mouse stops working.
You know, that's honestly one of the most frustrating things. You know what's actually even more frustrating than that, though? When your keyboard stops working, because there's no way to communicate with your opponent, and there's no way to pause like the game, unless you have like your little menu button clickable. Like, that is actually the most frustrating thing if your keyboard stops working.
Yeah, it could be pretty annoying.
I say that because I used to have, I'm not going to name the brand, but I used to have a keyboard that would randomly just short out. Like, once every couple of weeks in the middle of a ladder game, it would just like stop working entirely, and I have to unplug it and plug it back in. So like in the middle of a game, I'd be like teasing at an engagement or something, and then I like suddenly have to like duck underneath my desk and like go unplug it and plug it back in. And then when I came back and popped my head back up, my entire army was gone.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But okay, look, we have a War Prism coming out. And I think that's a nice decision. Cost maybe still having some issues.
Just because it goes doom doom doesn't mean it's fully ready.
Doo doo. Doo doo.
Damn it.
I think that's actually one of the weirdest things. There's sometimes where the drivers for like the mouse or something,
you plug it into a different port.
It'll come in for like work for like 4 seconds, and then it'll stop working again. Because it uses like the default drivers, and then suddenly it's like, oh wait, no, I have drivers available for this, and it switches to those, and those don't work at all. Oh man!
If I ever play on Fruitland, I'm burrowing a pair of banelings on each of the lemons.
Oh, that is a brilliant play. That is a brilliant maneuver. Like you could kill off the worker after they mine it. I see.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, dude.
No, actually, he's gonna help his opponent by using that baneling extra damage.
Hold that thought. We actually have a lot of these turn cells actually moving in over here, trying to pick off Costa's army. There's a lot of storms available though, and feedback actually goes down on one of the medevacs. Second medevac, I don't think it has enough energy. No, it doesn't have enough energy to actually be killed off, especially with the stims now using up some of that energy. But still, if he's able to get a feedback off on it, it'd be nice. Oh, War Prism gets sniped off.
Jesus.
This is a really, really weird engagement angle for both of these players. I mean, Koss is kind of trapped out at his main base, but he managed to kill off the War Prism, so now Space Marine's push is like...
No, this is not going to go well for Space Marine.
Oh, man. A lot of those reinforcements just got cut off, but there's not that many bunkers over here. The bunker immediately gets focus fire down. There's still 4 High Templars over here. I don't know about this, Rob. I think that it could...
What is happening? Why did Cass wait so long?
There's 2 Archons morphing in, and there's a lot of... there's a nice force field actually blocks out so many of those units.
Well, I retract the statement. It should not have gone that well. Honestly, Cass should have jumped on that little tiny army, that ragtag army, before it had any chance to do anything.
That was just like a really weird situation that I don't think either of the players were really prepared for.
Yeah, definitely.
But, you know, 3rd expansion is now established for Koss, in addition to... Wait.
You know what?
Koss didn't mind the lemons on the right-hand side of the map.
You know what's funny? Koss is hotkeyed one of the rocks.
Wait, really?
If you look in his number one hotkey group.
Oh my god. That's interesting. I guess maybe he wants to make sure that the Rocks are doing their part. Um,
I don't even
okay,
know how it's possible. Whatever.
so Cuss didn't mind the minerals on the right hand side of the map. Space Marine is now poking around the right hand side map. Oh, big drop coming in to the main base of Space Marine from Koss. Photon Overcharge is going to go down. I'll handhold these Zealots around, but no High Templar is sitting around and waiting to storm. And, oh god, he is so far away, he's just going to go for it. He's going to try and do as much damage as he can in the National Expansion, but will it be enough? He's going to lose so much in his main base. Oh god, he's supply block. He can't even warp in reinforcements.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
I
Immortal's strong.
Immortal's doing a lot of damage as well as these Archons in the National Expansion, but I mean, those are starting to get cleaned up. And there's no reinforcements coming in to help out that push to National Expansion. It's been cleaned up. That's it. Guess what? Empire Cost continuing to do a damage with his drop. He's picked off the main Nexus. He's going after the Natural Expansion Nexus, unloading a couple more units to help add in with the DPS. After that, he can go after Thermal Lance on the Robotics Bay before it finishes up. It's going to be so close. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's GG. Yeah, Space Marine, he's going to tap out, and Empire Cost is going to take this series 4-1 with some great play, and honestly, just some great positional play in the later end of that game. And congratulations to Empire Cost. He's going to be taking the $75 from the 9th Team Gravity Fight Night. Space Marine.
I'm going to see if we can't pull Beast in for the interview, because he's probably going to remember the games better than I am. For some reason, I can't remember the games as well when I'm casting them.
I know exactly what you mean, man. I just get so caught up in each individual game, but congratulations to Space Marine as well. Did a really good. Definitely showed some great. It was a 4-1, but I think Space Marine played really well. Like a lot of the games were very close. I think that for the most part, a lot of the players were relatively even in terms of like how evenly skilled they were in the games. Just a couple of things that I think Cost did a little bit better, and he was able to take it. So Space Marine's still going to get that $25 reward.
Yeah. I think in that last game, though, I think Space Marine's build was too wonky. Like, he was going to go charge at Archon, but he didn't. Like, I mean, he built the units, but he didn't actually attack with it.
Yeah.
And then he teched the Storm, and it's like... You know, that path is suboptimal once you reach a certain point in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think from that point on, it was probably kind of playing from behind.
I honestly think like losing the Warp Prism especially was an enormous loss, because that Warp Prism was the reason why Space Marine didn't have a close by proxy pylon. In fact, the proxy pylon he had was like still halfway across the map. So it was still a very long walk distance. He warped in a lot of charge zealots as the forced reinforcement wave, but there was actually still that drop that Koss actually had still out on the map, so it just delayed all those units from actually getting there in time. In the meanwhile, the natural expansion basically got cleaned up in time. Koss was able to defend there, and Space Marine's reinforcements just arrived way too late to really make much of an impact. But if they had gotten there like immediately, if the Warp Prism had warped those in, that may have been an entirely different, I guess, engagement. So,
yeah, it could have been.
It's hard to say. I mean, we could maybe ask the players now to hop into the resume from replay stuff and be like, "Hey, look! I mean, Space Marine, I know that you just lost the series, but can you just play it out that last game one more time?" Yeah, that would be It's hard to say like how exactly it would have gone. We can play the what if game as many times as we want. Could say, what if Empire Costs, I don't know, had mined the extra 500 minerals that he took the time to knock down the rocks with.
They went unchallenged, so clearly 1,000 extra minerals is helpful.
What if they hadn't gone unchallenged? Like, what if there were a handful of units like out on the map?
Oh yeah,
or,
a
like,
nice storm or two.
Marine.
Jesus.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, there's all kinds of what if games that we can play, but in the end, we kind of have to just consider like, well, you know what? Empire Costs, the way that the game was played, Empire Costs came out ahead, and he was able to take the series with some really solid play for the most part. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting Costs in here for the actual interview. It looks like he is down for the interview, so we are going to get him in here.
Sweet.
And yeah, I would love to hear Beast from Team Gravity ask a couple of the questions. Because yeah, I'm trying to.
Martin's been in the whole time. I don't know why I'm asking him in Twitch chat when he's listening to me.
Yeah, man.
Oh, he's got allergies. God damn it. All right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's totally fair.
I'm just gonna have to man up.
Well, I'm gonna ask him about those lemons,
man. Up.
You know, actually, I'm thinking about it, and the time for when he killed the second, the lemon, and I think around that time was actually when I think it was when SpaceMarine.
Tampa Ritzy? Are you kidding me? Tampa
Ritzy?
I like Tampa when I went there, a bit too ritzy for my taste.
Oh.
Wow.
Effects of Oxy.
You must be from a small town, buddy. When I think ritzy, I think like L.A. or...
L.A.?
Yeah, dude. Like any hotel there is going to have a markup. Or Beverly Hills. Okay, ritzy.
Okay, yeah, Beverly
Hills. All right.
When I think of ritzy, I think like
Paris.
I think like Vegas and like maybe.
Oh, Vegas. Yeah, Vegas definitely.
Maybe like parts of San Francisco or like even Seattle.
Definitely.
Seattle and less.
And of course Manhattan. That's pretty ritzy. Unless you're.
Don't talk about Paris, man. We're ignorant Americans. We don't talk about
Paris is pretty expensive.
About cities that exist outside of the United States. There's only countries and continents. And I don't know half
There's only 3 continents, right?
There's the United States.
There's the United States. There's Canada and Mexico.
I was gonna go with the United States, Europe, and Asia, but I mean we can go with Canada and Mexico.
Oh, I think we got. Is Kaz in the call now?
No, I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, okay. Need to add you. Pull you in. Okay. Sorry, guys. We need to actually, just because of how Skype works, we actually need to add him on Skype to, actually pull him into the call. Otherwise, Skype is just like, no! You don't know this person! Okay.
Yeah, Skype, it's got some very interesting restrictions. Like, honestly, I'm paying for the $10 a month. Why does my call have to end at 4 hours? I mean, is that really necessary? Am I abusing the service?
It is a little bit silly. Okay, well, I have pulled him in, and hey, how are you doing today, Koss?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
Well, congratulations on your 4-1 victory. How do you feel?
I feel good. SpaceMarine is really good European Protoss, so I'm really happy what I won. Lately I'm doing fine versus Protoss, so I wasn't worried so much. I was very confident what I can win. So I have very good mechanics lately, and my engagement is good, and it is all with unit in TVP.
That was pretty impressive, that very first game, if you remember.
On Frost, yeah.
Yeah, your positioning is literally what won the game. The moment you managed to get up there around the 4th, like I don't think he could have won the game at that point, even though it was even before that.
Yeah, it was. I know. I just have a big experience in situation like that because I practice a lot. So usually I mess up versus some all-in of kind of weird aggression, but in a straight up normal macro game, I'm doing fine. So that's why it looks like that.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about the most recent game because it was the fun of Fruitland, obviously, and I want to give you a big shout out for finally killing the lemons and mining them. Yes.
Oh, it wasn't my first game at that map. I remember I had some more games on some show matches or leagues on that map, so I was kind of practicing a bit that map, so I know exactly what kind of build or strategy you need for put this advantage from lemon. So I just did it, and it just worked pretty well.
Yeah, so that was something that you kind of had pre-prepared for Fruitland to take advantage of those limits?
Just in theory, I didn't practice exactly this build exactly versus Protoss, but in theory, I had some builds in my mind what should work, so I just used it and it just worked well.
Yeah, and I guess even talking about some of the specifics of that last game, like what ended up happening was you were kind of moving out with some of your units with the medevac, and then suddenly you saw a bunch of these like charge zealots and High Templars like moving across the map. Like what was going through your head at that moment?
Well, I wasn't panic at all, and I left some Marines behind because I know what it is very important in this build, just to kind of kill his additional warp. So I just left like 8 Marines behind, and I know what I defend this kind of small army from him. It just was storms, but with good spread and some descent splits. Even if he kill like all my natural workers, I have 3 command center, I have very good production, and I have lemon 500 minerals. So even if I lose all workers, I still kind of good situation. Which all medivacs I can just take a good engagement and drop a lot. So it just was like if I do well, if I defend well in that situation, so I just know what I will win next 5 minutes.
Hey, Cass, we have a question from the audience. Are you going to DreamHack tomorrow?
Oh, sadly no. I had some problems behind esports, so I just missed in this tournament. We'll start to preparing for VCS, I think. I have very tough opponent. I have Patience, Korean Protoss, so this will be really hard, yeah.
Oh.
Well, you've definitely given me faith in you after seeing your TVP today.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Actually, I work a lot on TVZ and TVT lately because I know what my TVP is good, and I kind of adapted after 1 year of domination by Protoss. It's like every game what you play, you just play versus Protoss in ladder and tournament. So it is like unreal to not be good in this matchup, even if it is hard. So I'm happy what I meet Protoss because like Zerg's so hard nowadays. They are so strong, and I don't know. You need to play purely idle for beat Zerg, good Zerg. But versus Protoss, I think I have a shot.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kos. Rob, do you have any other questions?
No, I don't. Thank you, Kos, very much for joining us tonight.
Welcome. And thank you for tournaments, for inviting me. Bye.
All right.
Bye. All right, well, one final kind of congratulations to Empire's Kos for winning 4-1 against as you kind of heard from his own words or from his own mouth, SpaceMarine, who is a very solid player. And, best of luck to him also in his DreamHack games versus Patience tomorrow. I know that I will definitely be tuning in for that and checking out Kos. And, you guys should definitely check out both the players for Team Empire, so Empire Kos, and as well as Team Gravity. Check out Team Gravity. I know a lot of links have been posted in the chat. But Rob, there's also a couple sponsors for not only Gravity Fight Nights, but just for Team Gravity. So who are they?
For Team Gravity, well, there is, of course, Tampa Esports, who is a proud sponsor of all 9 Fight Nights now. And then there's Android TV Canada, who is a team sponsor for Team Gravity. You should check them out. I think we'll have the links posted in chat or in just a moment.
Yeah, it should definitely be there. So check them out. And Rob, where can people actually catch you at as well?
Well, I think my Twitter is listed somewhere. It's at rmdeluca. And usually all I use it for is tweet when we're doing StarCraft events. I don't use it for anything else. So you won't get a bunch of crap if you subscribe to
it. For sure, man. And guys, be sure to also follow our lovely observer, Current TV. He has been very, very quietly. We think we may be hallucinating him. If you are hearing this, we're not hallucinating it. If you aren't hearing this, then I guess we're both just hallucinating at the same time. But he has been here quietly and very, very diligently observing all the games. So give him some love over at Current TV over on Twitter. You can also follow me over at FearDragon64. I actually think that all these Twitter stuff should actually be up on the overlay. But yeah, with that being said, I think that's pretty much it. So, Rob, you want to closing thoughts or anything?
What's up?
Closing thoughts or any?
Well, I'd like to. We had up to about 560 viewers at one point. I'd like to thank you all for joining us. It's the viewers that help to spread the word about this type of thing, and then we can get more players involved and more people can get money in their pockets for playing StarCraft. So thank you all for joining us this morning and tonight, and I'll see you next time.